Okay, so I don't know exactly where I left off, but I'm gonna just, sorry about the squeaky chair, give a little bit more of what happened. It is currently the 29th of September, so I am jumping a bit ahead, or backwards actually. But I did make some voice memos, so I'm kind of going based off that. Sorry if it's incorrect, I guess. So first of all, on the 7th of August, I think it was, you'll see in my August recap a lot of what I'm referring to now, but we had this breakfast at school, and every person got a yogurt, but not everyone ate it obviously, and there were still boxes and boxes and boxes left at the end of it, and whoever didn't finish theirs put them also in a box so that they wouldn't go to waste. So naturally that day, that morning, I knew we had a rehearsal till the end of the day, so I stocked a few of my friends' ones in my bag because I thought, I'm gonna be hungry, some other people are probably gonna see me eating yogurt and want some, so I'm gonna grab a few in my bag. So I started off by eating one at the breakfast, and I had like 3 in my bag. And then this girl came up to me who was kind of running the breakfast thing and said, look, there's loads left, do you want to take any more? And I was like, well, you know, no harm, I guess. So I took another 2, I think. So by this point I had 5 in my bag and I'd already eaten 1. So I got to, I think, 11ish, and naturally you get hungry. So I took 1 and ate it. So now I had 4 in my bag and I've eaten 2. Someone else came up to me and said, Raquel, there's loads left. And it wasn't just to me, they were kind of saying to everyone, grab a few. So they left out this huge box for everyone to just take. And naturally, I was like, well, it's gonna be a long rehearsal tonight. I'm gonna grab a few more. So I did. And by this point, I think I had about 7 in my bag, and I think I'd eaten 3. I'm not a big yogurt eater usually. It was food and I could eat it. So, and it was nice. It was actually really good yogurt. So I figured I will take some, and worst comes to worst, I knew there was a fridge at the venue as well, so I thought worst comes to worst, I stock them in the fridge for tomorrow's rehearsal, because we have a rehearsal like every day at this point. Anyway, I get to the venue and I started eating my yogurt, or I'm one of the people eating yogurts. Other people also brought, not many though, and some people said, well, can I have one if you have any left? So naturally I gave them out, and I think I had 3 by the end of the day left, and so I popped them in the fridge. And the next day was a Wednesday, and people kind of still snacked on them, but there were only those 3, so they went pretty quickly. Then on Thursday, this was probably my favorite day, someone told us that there were still boxes and boxes left in the fridge, and they wanted them to go as soon as possible, because, like, not in the fridge at our venue, but in the fridge at our school, because they were going to go off soon, and they said, people please just take. So I grabbed a few just before the rehearsal and decided to again bring them because people seem to like the yogurt, so I thought might as well. And it really started catching on at this point because people just started eating them, and so I kind of just left them out, and by the end of the rehearsal it was pretty much all gone. But the funniest thing was, we had a very long rehearsal. It was for like 10 hours or something, and we took the yogurts, and because they were finished already at some point, it got to a point where we did the show twice that day in a row. Like, we had a bit of a break in between, but we wanted to try and get a feel for the whole show. So me and this other guy both had this break during the end of Act 1 and the start of Act 2, because there's intermission obviously, which is already 15 minutes, plus, you know, I finish a bit before the end of Act 1 and only go on halfway through Act 2, and same with him. So we decided, in our costumes, because we didn't have time to change, to run to the hall where the yogurts were being stocked and grab quite a lot. So we were running back in our costumes, which I don't know if you could see in any of the August shots, but mine's quite big and not really meant for running. And I was also wearing these like high-heeled shoes, which again, not ideal, but whatever. So we run back in our costumes across the school where, you know, people are either having class or sitting outside and watching these 2 weirdos run in their costume with these big boxes of yogurts, come back to the venue and share them again. And they were really being eaten by everyone. It was so funny. You'd be on stage and you'd look into the wing and you'd just see people watching the show eating yogurts, or you'd go into your dressing room and see people eating yogurts. Wherever you turned, people were eating yogurts. And actually one of my friends brought mini M&Ms, and another friend said, why don't you put them with your yogurt? So I did, and that was really good. So thank you to that friend. Highly recommend that because it's really good.